Hello. I am feeling a lot of relief today because, like in a good way, as I've said, the launch party thing, the two lunch parties that we had just were causing a lot of stress. And today's lunch party has been completed and it went way better than yesterday's. Yesterday was a beautiful disaster. It was great, and I loved how, like, I love both how authentically Sam and I both showed up, but also, like, I love our authentic selves, I guess. I love that we're both, like, just totally eager to go with the flow and problem solve and keep moving, rather than, like, either of us really getting bogged down with everything not working. So, like, Facebook kept crashing, and then when we did the raffle, it was, like, all over the place, and it wasn't how we planned it. We didn't have the assistance that we had expected, and I had Thane, which I wasn't supposed to have Thane, and, like, everything was just chaos, and so it took, like, 2.5 hours. Today's lunch party was, like, smooth, and we talked for, like, a normal, like, the planned amount of time, and then we did the raffle, and it went much smoother because we did it a way that worked a lot better, and Facebook never dropped us and made us start over, and everything worked out just much smoother. It was like an hour and 10 or 20 minutes or something, and all the people that we drew in the raffle were, like, actually there and excited about the prizes, and, like, yesterday where we were, like, tracking down people who weren't there because we weren't prepared. Anyway, so, I had tried to do a pre-lunch party because I knew we needed a dress rehearsal. Like, I saw all of that coming, and but we tried to do a dress rehearsal, and we tried to, like, run a raffle, and we're like, well, it works, but we weren't trying to, like, locate the people or all of that. We didn't have a purpose to, so there wasn't really much we could do. So that dress rehearsal where everything fell apart and we had to figure out how to put it all back together just ended up being the first party itself. So the second party went much smoother, and I just love everything that's going on in the tribe and how far it's gotten. And, like, Sam was the one who suggested the lunch parties as, like, an idea, and I love how it fleshed out. I liked being under that kind of stress. I liked having something we were working towards because I think we're both pretty out of practice. I mean, I can't speak for her, but I'm really out of practice with, like, being in the real world, or of having, like, those kinds of big responsibilities, especially having to intertwine them with being a single mom, right? Like, I have no experience with that. So when it comes to, like, I'm building a business and all of that, it's hard for me to, like, orient and, like, set goals because I know they're always going to have to be moved and, all of that. So this is the first time in a long time I committed to something. And I actually was like, this is when the lunch party is, and, like, people can depend on me and I am going to be there and it's going to go well. And it wasn't even, like, a struggle. It was natural for me to do that, which is always how you know that it's right, is because I didn't even think about it at the time. That's really the first time in a long time I've allowed anybody to be dependent on me, and I allowed this whole tribe and everything that we were doing to be dependent on me showing up both days and making the best of it for these live launch parties. And I knew that the first one would be a mess, and it was. And this is really, like, my philosophy in life, right? Like, it's not about being, like, a perfect parent. It's about being, like, a real human and handling being a human well, so that your children learn to model that, because you can tell them, like, don't be so hard on yourself. But if you're constantly like, oh my God, I did that stupid thing, I'm so stupid, like, they're going to see that in you, and that's how they're going to operate, because they're learning how to human from you. And so, it's that kind of mentality. Like, it's not what happens to you, it's how you handle it. And it's not like when it comes to trauma and things like that, like, it's not, you can take somebody who's never had trauma, like sexual trauma in their childhood or whatever, and compare them to somebody that has, and, like, it's not at all like that is going to make you a certain kind of person. Or it's really about the way that you process things, about the way you handle things, and about the way you grow when you figure out that you didn't handle things well and you learn to handle them now. So I appreciated being force-fed the opportunity for that first launch party to, like, go really off track for like a solid hour in the middle there. Like, we went a little over an hour with our talking and not getting to the raffle, and it, like, just completely, like, I was running the live and it shut down my entire phone. Like, Facebook just crashed, and then I couldn't operate Facebook again to get back on. I had to reboot my entire phone. So that was quite an intermission in the middle of the like party. And none of that stuff happened today, but it was really awesome to have the opportunity to just like keep showing up and going with the flow and like doing what we're doing. And never was it like, fuck this, you know, like neither of us had any energy of like, this is just awful, or, you know, anything negative. And I really appreciate, I like witnessing myself handling things well. And I liked experiencing that with Samantha, right? Because she and I like feel such a strong connection, but we're really fresh and new in that. So getting to have opportunities where we actually like see how the other person actually acts in the situations that you need somebody to handle situations in a healthy way. And the biggest thing is in a way that is compatible and healthy for you, right? So, I mean, you can try to match up with somebody and then the way that they handle, like in business or relationships or whatever, and seeing the way that they handle something can have like a really awful impact on you, or just be like a huge drain on you, or can have all sorts of things. But then they can match up with somebody else that like handles that well, you know? I see that all the time with like women having like kind of, you know, chaotic emotions or whatever. And like at one point they're with a man that's like ricochets back this chaos. And so it just creates this like crazy chaos, like my last relationship. And then, you know, the same woman will go and like have a relationship in which when she gets to those exactly, she's still the same person, right? So she has like PTSD or, you know, like hormonal fluctuations, and is that same kind of chaotic energy. But now she's with a man that's like just a very solid, like grounding energy. He's not wavering in like whether or not he thinks that she's a good person or that he loves her or whatever. Like he's just a grounding energy. And like, no matter what it is that she's experiencing, he doesn't take it personally. Like even if she personally, like, you know, thinks that it's like she's projecting it onto him and like, you know, is thinking that it's all like he knows that it's not his fault, you know, he knows it's not his thing. He doesn't get defensive. He just is like a safe space for her, right? Very, very different, right? So you can be one way. You can also have like two women that have that kind of chaos, and they like kind of ricochet off of each other, and then when they like calm down, they come back and go, well, I have that experience sometimes with my mom where, you know, at the end of maybe the two of us clashing, like she might feel guilty, but the only thing that I feel is like, well, I appreciate that I understand her, right? Like she and I are designed very similarly. So if we're going to have that kind of clash, I understand her and I understand me and I understand what happened. Whereas like with my ex, when he and I would clash, I did not understand him and he did not understand me. And it was really painful and it was really difficult. So I loved going through an experience with Samantha where, I mean, at least now in like the honeymoon phase of our relationship and the tribe and all of that, like we both handled things really well. And, you know, getting to experience that, like that was difficult, and like preparing for the launch parties and pulling them off, like getting ready the mornings before and all that stuff, like it's stress, and there's good stress and bad stress, right? There's eustress and there's de-stress or distress. And it was very clearly for me personally, eustress. Like I liked having something that I was so focused on and like driven by and working on, and knowing that like this is like going to reap benefits. This is like something that I'm building and something that is valuable. So I liked having that. And at the same time, we both can recognize like that was difficult and we need a break, you know, like we shouldn't be like trying to force ourselves to jump into something new, because that will come once we've like rebooted, right? You don't like get to the end of the day and be like, I'm exhausted, but that was such a productive day, let's keep going all night. Like you get to the end of a day and you're like, that was productive and I'm exhausted, so I'm going to go to bed, you know, and I'm going to rest and recover. And we're both in that phase of like, that was great. And like, we've been working so hard and it's such a, you know, like a change in momentum for us. So I want to take tomorrow, and besides a vlog and like Instagram posts and Facebook posts and showing up for people in the tribe, I want to just have like a day off from like tribe responsibilities, I guess, like business responsibilities, like trying to like plan a future and like move towards something. I want to just take a day where like I'm just living in the present moment. And so I plan to like watch TV shows and clean my house and like do projects and play with Thane and cook food and eat and take a nap and like not have like appointments or different things that I have to do, or like feel like, because I've had this constant, I mean, knowledge, it's not just like a feeling, but like anytime I would stop and be like, okay, what is it that I should be focusing on with the tribe? And then I'd be like, oh shit, I need to make a post and explain to them like the buddy system, or I need to make a post and explain to them like what's going to be happening, or I need to make a master post to like take all of the posts that I've been posting and like show everybody like what all the posts are so that everybody sees. And then I need to like tag every single person because this is the post I need to make sure that every single person sees. And it's like every moment that wasn't like forced somewhere else was like slid back into like, what should I be focusing on? Oh shit, I need to like make a graphic for a reminder. I need to make a graphic I need to update the graphic for the tribe launch parties. I need to like make, you know, things for the interviews. I need to get ready for an interview. I need to get ready for the pre-launch party. I need to get ready for the launch party. I need to just nonstop. And whew. So now I get to just like rest, you know, for a day at least, and see how I feel like on Monday morning. Tomorrow's Sunday. So, I mean, tonight I'm going to work on prizes. I have given away prizes. I need to make sure that like the women who donated sessions are in contact and are like following through. I need to make sure that like I am awarding the cash prizes. I need to make sure that I am like signing the books and getting them mailed off soon. I have that like in place, ready to mail, probably Monday, I guess, because tomorrow's Sunday. And I need to set up like my calls that I gave away with women, and just make sure that everybody's getting their prizes. So yeah, it's been pretty stressful. And I think wrapping up prizes is like the last thing that I need to do. And yeah, then I get to just take a break tomorrow. You know, it's funny to live in a life where I don't really have anything going on, because it's like I'm going to take a break and just like sit around my house and like clean my house. And I don't really take many breaks, because that's what a break is, right? But I know very strongly that like if I wasn't living like far away in the mountains, if there was somewhere that I could go, if I had like the money to go afford to like go out to a movie, if I had the freedom, like a child that was old enough that, you know, I could like leave him with other people, and, you know, like he could go to a friend's house or something, and I could go to the movies, or different things like that. If I had like a partner and we could like just decide like we need like a morning in bed together, and like Thane can go somewhere else and we could just spend time together, or, you know, like just spend the day, like go off and adventure, or come home at the end of the day and watch shows or something. Like I would love to have more breaks, but it feels like right now I'm in a place where I am paddling really hard to get like some momentum going so that I can afford to get out of here. I can afford to do those things. I can like actually get near, you know, potential compatible mates to share my life with. And yeah, I'm looking forward to having like, wow, I worked really hard and now I'm going to take a break, and have that actually be something other than like, I'm going to clean my house. Because that's more relaxing. I don't just sit and watch shows. I can't just sit and watch shows. I only enjoy, like, it's like ADD. I couldn't sit in classrooms and listen to the teacher without like drawing or sketching, or I would actually like carve almonds. I would have almonds as snacks, and then I had like sculpting tools that I would like sit there and like carve little people and turtles and stuff out of almonds. Yeah, fun fact about me, because I literally just, there's no joy. It's torture for me to just sit and just like take in one source of stimulation. I have to like be actually outputting energy. So I clean, cook, eat, play with Thane, etc. while I have a show on, and it works pretty well for motherhood. I get a lot done. Anyway, so my break tomorrow is going to be cleaning my house, and it's going to be amazing. But I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. This vlog is way long now. I will talk to you guys soon. Thane isn't here to tell you bye-bye, so bye-bye.